UIM AVP Aquabike Class Pro World Championship is back and better than ever in 2014, with former champions returning and new riders joining the tour as 67 competitors from 14 countries lined up in Doha for the Grand Prix of Qatar. Round 1 of the 2014 season kicked off in Doha, which hosted the Aquabike Championship for the 4th year in a row. Doha is a boomtown. From the outside, you see some big buildings, very big buildings, and space-age architecture. This is an ultra-modern, fast-expanding cityscape with a state-of-the-art infrastructure. But it's also a city of harmonious contrasts, where traditional values maintain a firm and solid sense of rootedness in the past. Doha is alive day and night. It's a buzzing cosmopolitan city, home to people from all over the world. The influence of this oil and gas-rich sultanate is growing worldwide. Qatar is home to world-renowned global institutions and will also be hosting the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Establishing itself as the powerboat capital of the world, Doha is the ideal aquabike venue with its beautiful tree-lined corniche and spectacular skyscraper-draped skyline, which makes it one of the most enjoyable Grand Prix on the tour for riders and fans alike.
What you guys are seeing now, this is only 15 years old. When we first started racing in Qatar, there was only the landmark was the Sheraton Hotel. There was nothing what you see from the landscaping here, and it was basically a desert. All of this happened after 1995. Qatar, the economy started to boom, and like you see, I mean, I just cannot explain it. It's just amazing. This is the best site you can ever have for such activities in Doha.
It's the start of the year as racers in the 3 categories of Ski Division GP1, Freestyle, and Runabout GP1 seek to get things off on the right foot and gain as many points as possible early in the year, while also getting back into the rhythm of racing following the off-season. This year's Aquabike Championship kicked off with perhaps the biggest field of riders ever, as some of the top names in international racing descended on Doha. There are former champions joining the tour for the first time, and new championship potential as riders young and old compete for the 2014 world title. The bikes are ready, the riders are pumped. The season kicks off for the Ski Division GP1. The big news in the Ski Division GP1 is the return of 2011-2012 world champion Jeremy Perret of Team Race Spirit, back after a year's absence and stronger and fitter than ever. Up against Jeremy Perret would be one of the best riders in the world, who is joining the Aquabike Tour for the first time as an American jumps in the fray against the best of Europe and the Middle East. 18-time world and 15-time national champion Chris McCluggage of the USA.
Yeah, I feel really good. It's the first time here in Qatar and first time not racing a UIM event, but it's the first time racing the Aquabike Championship. So I'm really excited. My Monster Energy Eurofin HT Moto Bullet V2 powered by Mac Racing is running really well. We had a little bit of trouble coming into the event. We broke a part that we didn't have, and it's the only part we forgot. And lucky enough, someone else had one in the paddock here, and we were able to put it on the ski, and it's running great now. The competition is good. There's great riders. I mean, there's the three brothers, the Poirier brothers, that are very fast. And when you have two other people out there, a family that plays together, sticks together, so it could be tough racing against them on the track. I'm not saying they're going to be unfair, but it's they're great riders, and I expect a good fight from them. Alberto Monti, he's fantastic. He's 48 years old, but he's still an amazing athlete. The Thiago Sosa is an amazing rider too, and Nacho, and just a lot of great guys out there. But I've beat them all one time or another, or more than once, and I intend on beating them again.
The ski division field has an incredible depth of talent, as last year's European champion and world runner-up Thiago Sousa also picks up where he left off, joined by his talented younger brother, Rui Sousa.
This is a new season for me and for my brother. The last one didn't went so well. I was fighting for the title, and in the last race we had some technical problems, but we are back this year to fight for the podium, for the first place. We are strong, we are motivated, we want to do the best and make the best show we can.
The charismatic surprise 2013 world champion Michael Paré will have his work cut out for him as he seeks to defend his title this year. Also returning from a year's absence are the two younger Parés, Morgan and Estelle, who race alongside their older brother Michael in Team Paré. The Parés have held the World Championship in the ski division since 2010, making them a formidable aquabike dynasty. Also returning after a year-long absence following a terrible race accident is Nacho Armillas of Spain, the 2012 world runner-up. He recovered from broken ribs and vertebrae. Can he rise from the ashes and take up the fight where he left off? Up against the youngsters are two excellent veterans, Alberto Monti of Italy and Ludo Coman of France, who won the last Grand Prix of 2013 in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, last race was great. I finished first and it was a really nice race. I was really fit and my ski was really good. And this year I wish I can do the full championship, but as you know, I'm working in Abu Dhabi. But I will see if I make top 3 today, I will try to do the full championship. But it's a nice championship. They have good organization. I really like the qualification system and the timing. It's something really great. We didn't used to see something like that like 10 years ago, and it really helps the sport and the rider. Yeah.
Also making a return is 5-time French and 4-time European champion, number 5, Vincent Villa. The ladies category features Estelle Paré and Jennifer Menard of France, and Marta Sorrentino of Italy. They'll be racing right alongside the men. Conditions were choppy as Heat 1 of the Grand Prix of Qatar got underway. Chris McCluggage made a great start down that opening straightaway to the all-shot boy, followed closely by Thiago Sousa, who got things off on the right foot in second position right at the get-go as they enter the alternate course. Sousa follows McCluggage in on the wider, less choppy green track. Coming out of the alternate course, McCluggage in command of this race. But Sousa is passed by Jeremy Paré in the alternate course. The 2-time world champion, now the one giving chase to McCluggage as Sousa tries to keep up with Jeremy Paré. Terrible start from Alberto Monti, who has a tumble in that start chute. Thiago's brother Rui has a fall, but he's quickly back up and at it. Estelle Paré also has a tough time of it, as the riders struggle with that boy in the very rough conditions. Last year's championship contender Alberto Monti back in the race, but with some catching up to do. Chris McCluggage still in command of this race, but Jeremy Perret appears to be closing up on him. And Chris knows better than anyone how dangerous Jeremy Perret is when he's on your tail. Behind McCluggage and Perret is a bunch up with some very talented riders, Sousa, Nacho Armias, and Ludo Coman. Struggling somewhat is defending world champ Michael Perret, back in 6th place. In the third lap, Perret moves into the tight and technical blue track of the alternate course, trying to get the jump on McCluggage, who's in the green. Coming out of the alternate course, Perret is catching up with the American. Perret slips in on the inside, coming around the turn, the two go head to head, and Perret powers off ahead to nab the lead with some electrifying racing. But McCluggage is right on his tail. He's not giving up. He wants to take that lead back from Perret. But now the American is the one who has to turn this race around. Michael Perret, meanwhile, making his way up the field, trying to push that top 5. His sister Estelle is in trouble out there, signaling for assistance. Further back is Croatian Tomas Kete, number 17, followed by his fellow Croatian Slaven Ivancic. There we see Jeremy Perret in the lead, followed by McCluggage. And that gives you an idea of just how tough these conditions are for the riders, with big, erratic waves and light in their eyes. What a return it's been for Jeremy Perret, who comes back after a year's absence, during which he had a baby boy with another world champion, Julie Boulteau. And he seems to have picked up right where he left off, fit, hungry, and race ready. But then you have to be if you're going up against the likes of Chris McCluggage. Thiago Sousa in 3rd, lapping his brother Rui in 9th. The final lap, Perret in the green track, and McCluggage behind him seems resigned to runner-up spot as he just plays it safe and slaloms through. Jeremy Perret heads to the final turn, knowing he has this race in his pocket. There it is, the first heat win of the year goes to Jeremy Perret. Chris McCluggage will have to make do with runner-up in his first race in this series. And Thiago Sousa's hard work and training pays off at the start of the year with a well-earned 3rd place.
Je suis vraiment content de ma course. C'est la course.
I'm really happy about that race. It's the kind of race I was hoping for, having thought a lot about my first race back. I started the race 3rd and I moved up to 1st, passing Sousa and McCluggage. It was a great battle with Mac. I knew it would be. I'm glad with how it turned out, but I know Mac's going to be back even stronger tomorrow.
Et qu'il va revenir pour la deuxième manche. Merci.
The objective is simple, to beat Jeremy Perret, who starts in pole.
We know what Jeremy's capable of. He's a great rider, great talent, but I've got a little bit of experience on him, and we're going to take that and use our knowledge out there on the track and hopefully, come out first place.
And the race is on. Great start from McCluggage as he buckles down and bullets ahead of Jeremy Perret to his port side, taking the all shot at the head of the pack. Uncharacteristically poor start from Jeremy Perret as Nacho Armias moves on up past him while Jeremy Perret and Thiago Sousa nearly collide as they enter the circuit. While Perret and Sousa lock horns, Armias sneaks through as the young Spaniard takes 2nd position behind McCluggage, entering the alternate course. Armias right on the American's tail as McCluggage opts for the green track, and Armias goes for the tight and technical but more choppy blue. Further back is Ludo Coman, who said he'd race the whole season if he got a top 3 finish here, but he's up against some stiff competition. Thiago Sousa in the blue track, and he misses a boy. That'll cost him a quick trip to the penalty black boy. McCluggage driving very strong, trying to make up for his Heat 1 loss to Jeremy Perret, and already opening a sizable lead with Armillas early on. Thiago Sousa comes back in for the penalty boy, but he's bumped down to 5th behind Ludo Coman in this very tight field. Thiago Sousa stays close to Coman, trying to find a gap in which to overtake the Frenchman, but the experienced Coman keeps his cool and holds his position in the face of the aggressive Portuguese rider. Chris McCluggage in firm command of this race, slaloming through the blue track of the alternate course, with Armillas trying to keep up with a flying American. The young Spanish 2012 world runner-up has that talent, but will that long racing absence affect his form? Both riders know that they can't afford any mistakes, with Jeremy Perret waiting to pounce in 3rd. Behind them, Thiago Sousa still keeping up the chase on Ludo Coman, and Alberto Monti also back there trying to force his way into the top 5. Behind Monti, it's a battle between the two brothers Michael and Morgan Perret, as young Morgan tries to close the gap with his big brother. Further back, Croatian rider Tomas Kete, and just behind him, his fellow Croatian Slaven Ivancic dukes it out with Nicola Piscaglia of Italy on number 18. Slaven Ivancic gets the better of Piscaglia, moving into the top 10. In the ladies, Jennifer Menard of France leads the field ahead of Estelle Perret and number 4, Marta Sorrentino. Toward the back of the pack is Hungarian rider Attila Shep, and Estelle Perret getting caught up in traffic. In the alternate course, Jeremy Perret in 3rd position goes up beside Nacho Armillas. Jeremy Perret comes out in front of Armillas. Jeremy Perret takes 2nd spot with some great racing, and Armillas will be kicking himself, but he doesn't give up the chase, and he stays on Perret's tail. Man down! It's Josef Boslov of Hungary. Boslov is towed off the circuit. Thiago Sousa's unrelenting race-long efforts to overtake Coman now going into the final few laps as time runs out for the Portuguese rider. The alternate course is his best bet as he slaloms through the green track. Back to the runaway leader of this race, Chris McCluggage, opening an 8-second lead. McCluggage in the green track with a comfortable lead over Jeremy Perret, who may well seem content with 2nd place, even if that would give the GP win to the American, since Heat 2 has more weight in the event of a tie. Coming out of the alternate course, Thiago Sousa has finally done it. The Portuguese rider overtakes Coman to move into 4th spot with some great racing. Sousa has his sights set on Armillas in 3rd, as the Portuguese rider cuts the distance down to a few boat lengths between him and the Spaniard. And would you believe it? Jeremy Perret does the impossible, passing McCluggage on lap 8 to take the lead of the race. McCluggage once again outdone by Perret, once again chasing the Frenchman. The heated battle continues also between Armillas and Sousa as the two Iberians fight for 3rd, the Portuguese rider giving a dogged chase. McCluggage is out of the race. He had just 1 lap to go, but a blown spark plug cruelly decides his fate in the penultimate lap of Heat 2. What a shame, as he's towed off. Further back, Alberto Monti goes head-to-head with Ludo Coman, the two veterans fighting for 4th. Monti gets the better of Coman, and Coman has a fall, giving 4th spot to Monti as the Frenchman tries to get back on track. There he is, the runaway Heat and Grand Prix winner, Jeremy Perret, taking a well-deserved bow. Nacho Armillas is a well-deserved runner-up. Great return to racing from him. And Sousa's determined, hard-fought race pays off with a third-place finish for the Portuguese rider, with Alberto Monti coming in fourth and Ludo Coman settling for fifth. Poré is a happy, happy man, as is Armias, back after a year's absence.
Great job.
But bad news for Armias, who had to forfeit his runner-up result due to his bike failing the required race specifications, giving second spot to Sousa. Jeremy Poré is the winner of the Qatar Grand Prix, Sousa runner-up, Coman third.
Je suis vraiment très content de mon week-end, c'est un week-end parfait pour moi, j'ai gagné les chronos et les 2 manches.
I'm very pleased with my weekend. It was perfect. I won both heats and the GP.
Je remercie mes mécanos. Il y a vraiment beaucoup d'un très gros niveau.
My bike is better than ever, thanks to my mechanics. I feel like I'm at a good level coming back into the championship, and I feel like I'm in the running to win it again this year. It's going to be a tough year, and I'm looking forward to the next fight.
Vraiment, on a beaucoup de chance d'être ici. Et la bagarre n'est pas finie, ça va durer tout au long de la saison. Et voilà, rendez-vous à la prochaine pour la prochaine bagarre.
In the freestyle division, there is record turnout as 12 riders compete with very strong local Qatari participation. The big task will be to upset the 2013 world champion Rok Floriancic and his brother, the 2012 world champion Nas Floriancic. Leading a talented Qatari contingent is Sultan Al Kuwari, who made the podium here last year. But he'll be up against 2 more world champions who are returning to the competition. 2011 world champion Valerio Calderoni of Italy, aka Showtime, is back from injury with his Jet Revolution team. Also returning is former world, European, and multiple national champion from France, the life of the party, Romain Stampers, always a colorful addition to the Aquabike Tour. The talented Qatari rider Sultan Al Kuwari put on a great show with some well-executed 180 one-foot backflip combos and a great series of backflips to round out his routine. Nas Floriancic once again showed why he's a former world champ with his immaculate technique and surprise-filled repertoire. It was a dazzling display. There were a whole series of thrills from one of the biggest, most talented field of freestylers in a long time, as Qatari riders Abdullah Al-Langawi, Fahad Al-Hamli, and Badr Al-Abdullah wowed the local crowds with electrifying backflips, barrel rolls, and 180 and 360 combos. Veteran Roberto Mariani of Rome was once again up there with a creative routine and had great chemistry with the crowd. He ended things with his signature Superman. Mariani's Jet Revolution teammate Valerio Calderoni showed why he's a former world champion with a no-hands backflip that he almost made look easy. Good stuff from Showtime. And then there was another former world champ, the charismatic, entertaining Romain Stampers. Known for his creative, improvisational style, he went with the flow and produced some impressive moves. This guy never disappoints. But number one is number one, and that honor belongs to the defending world champion, Rok Florjancic, unarguably one of the top freestylers in the world today. The things this guy does are just ridiculous. Be it skill, creativity, or technique, he's got it all. And he tops it all off with a 10 backflip series. That earns Rok double heat and overall Grand Prix win, with Nak Florjancic runner-up again to his brother, and Al Kuwari on the podium for Qatar in third.
Actually, I was surprised a little bit because I haven't stayed on the ski for 3 months and everything ran perfect. I see I'm still in good shape. I just need a few hours of training to get back the feeling and I perform excellent, I could say.
The day's fun carries on into the night as the top 8 riders from the ski and runabout qualifying go head-to-head in a best-of-3 parallel slalom knockout. Always a crowd favorite in Doha, the parallel slalom kicked off with a surprise result as young newcomer Rui Souza eliminated Jeremy Perret in ski. Meanwhile, last year's parallel slalom champ Michael Perret knocked out celebrated newcomer Chris McCluggage. In the end, Michael Perret went up against Alberto Monti in a thrilling finale that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. It was Michael Perret who edged out the Italian, while Thiago Sousa beat his brother Rui for third place. Following a breathtaking freestyle display that saw 4 world champions out on the water at the same time, it was time for the runabout. Francois Midori had a dream run as he eliminated last year's world runner-up Cyril Lemoine, followed by last year's world champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak. In the final, he met surprise sensation Georgi Kassa of Hungary, who brushed aside Teddy Pons and Mohamed Al Haidous. Kassa carried his incredible form into the final to beat Francois Midori in convincing style. Al Abdulrazak beat Al Haidous for third place. The 2014 Parallel Slalom Championship would be decided in round 2 in Milan. The big event, the main show, is the Runabout GP1, featuring 400 horsepower aquabikes that can hit speeds of up to 180 kilometers an hour and go from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. All the big names are back and ready to race, along with some talented new riders from Eastern Europe and the Gulf region. Among the Middle Easterners from the Gulf, the biggest name is no doubt 2013 World Champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak of Kuwait, who closed out an impressive year with a big win in Abu Dhabi. Al Abdulrazak's biggest rival is 10-time World Champion Cyril Lemoine, who had to settle for runner-up to Al Abdulrazak last year, and he is not happy. He may even be a little too eager. Leading the Italian fight against both Al Abdulrazak and Lemoine is 2011 World Champion Mattia Fracasso, who joins Cyril Lemoine in their team Marina Quattro Italy. But the man who reigns atop the new world rankings is Jeremy Perez of Perez Racing Team. He races more than any other rider, regularly competing in regional, national, and European titles, and he's always fit. Looking to put a bad season behind him is former world champion and Carajet winner Teddy Pons. Also back with a new bike is 2012 world champion Francois Midori, who had a consistent season last year, but managed just a single podium in 2013.
For the first race, every year I say try to be safe, check, analyze, and after we know what we do for the next race. Now for this one, I be safe, I try to stay in the 3 first in the podium, but I need to finish.
I feel good, everything is ready right now. We're going to start in 15 minutes and we're going to see Moto1 how we do and try to finish the race safe and top 3. That's our target.
It's pretty good and the sea is very rough. I love it, but I am sad now because the wind is less and it's no good. I love it, big waves. Great. To catch some people.
The conditions were perfect for the Blue Ribbon event, the first heat of the year, the Runabout GP1. The riders await the start, and it's on. Al Abdulrazak struggles on that start chute as Lemoine and Al Haidus leave the Kuwaiti behind. Al Haidus edges ahead of Cyril Lemoine on the all shot. Mattia Fracasso charges through to go neck and neck with Al Haidus, Lemoine suddenly finding himself trailing in third. Having started in 6th on the grid, Teddy Pons makes his way up the field, giving chase to Lemoine. The man in the lead, Fracasso. What a start from the Italian, moving up from 5th on the start pontoon. To Fracasso's amazement, Al Abdulrazak is ahead of him. The Kuwaiti got it all wrong, entering through the ski course, and that will surely be penalized. What a nightmare for the defending world champion. Fracasso in charge of the race. Behind him, Lemoine makes a move on Al Haidus, trying to nab 2nd position. Lemoine is chased by Pons in 4th, and Walid Al-Sharshani is in 5th. Al Abdulrazak is disqualified. The defending world champion unable to finish yet another heat in Doha. You almost have to think he's jinxed. Lemoine picks the less choppy green track in the alternate course as he keeps the pressure on Al Haidus. Fracasso looking strong in the lead, and Lemoine once again on the attack, coming out of the alternate course. But Al Haidus hangs on. The Qatari is very familiar with these tricky waters. Back in 6th, Francois Midori getting accustomed to his new bike. Behind the former world champion is another Qatari, Ahmed Al Dawas. He has veteran Italian Lorenzo Benaglia on his tail, followed closely by Swede Lars Sebastian Åkerblom and world standings leader Jeremy Perez, who's moved up from the back of the field. Fracasso still leading, but Al Haidous and Lemoine appear to be gaining on the 2011 world champion. The choppy waters always prove a challenge here in Doha, demanding focus, concentration, strength, and endurance. Lemoine's standing style gives him the added advantage of absorbing those waves better than the other riders. Fracasso comes out in the lead again. Behind him, another tussle between Lemoine and Al Haidous. Al Haidous again managing to hold off the Frenchman, but for how long? Lemoine tries his luck again next lap. He goes tight on the inside, and he has it! Lemoine passes the Qatari to move into second. The multiple world champ almost made that look easy. At the back, Perez, who started last, has moved up to 10th spot as he continues his rise up the field. Last year's world number 3 passes Åkerblom. Despite going to the black penalty boy, Perez continues his surge. Further back, Italian Gianluca Santiamantini has Polish rider Andrzej Wisniewski on his tail. Back to Perez, he's in the blue track of the alternate course, trying to overtake Benaglia in 8th. Perez tries to keep the inside to get an advantage over his Italian rival. Benaglia goes wide, giving Perez the space on the inside. The Italian tries to make up for it, but Perez stays close on the turn, denying Benaglia's chance to regain his position. Great racing from Perez. Further back, Santiamantini has Patrice Pellier of France on his tail. Perez laps another Swede, Johan Johansson, and Johansson has a tumble right in front of Perez, the Swede experiencing a few technical problems. Back to the front runners now. Fracasso exits the alternate course in the lead. Lemoine has to do the penalty boy. Can Al Haidous take back second? The Qatari comes up almost neck and neck with Lemoine, but the experienced Frenchman keeps his cool and his position. Former world champ Teddy Pons still in 4th. But he'll be feeling the pressure soon as Jeremy Perez comes out of the alternate course, overtaking yet another rider, Ahmed Al-Dawas. Lorenzo Benaglia also makes his move on Al-Dawas, followed closely by number 30 Åkerblom as a three-way battle commences. Back in the lead, Fracasso and Lemoine entering the alternate course. Fracasso takes the green track, Lemoine takes the choppy and technical blue track, seeing if he can find a chance to take Fracasso. Both riders slaloming expertly, keeping those turns tight, knowing a single slip-up could cost them. Lemoine makes his charge on the inside, and he has it! Lemoine overtakes Fracasso to move into the lead on lap 11 with just 2 laps to go. Now it's Fracasso who has to play catch the leader, but he's having problems with his bike. Behind Fracasso, Teddy Pons making a move to try and catch up with Al Haidous in 3rd as the 2009 world champion chases his first podium in years. Behind Pons, Walid Al-Sharshani in 5th now has to be wary of the encroaching Jeremy Perez in 6th. In an ongoing 3-way battle, Benaglia falls back as Åkerblom moves up ahead of Al-Dawas, with Benaglia giving chase to the Swede and Qatari riders. Fracasso loses power as his ignition key comes out, and Al Haidous moves back up into 2nd as Fracasso gets going again. What a blow for the Italian, who drops to 3rd. Lemoine is cool and calm in the final lap, knowing he just has to maintain his rhythm now as he closes out the first heat of the year. Lemoine's girlfriend looks on, knowing he has it now. What a masterful display from Lemoine as he starts the year off with a win. Great result for Qatar as local talent Al Haidous comes in runner-up. And at least a third place consolation for Fracasso, who was so close to a win here. The penalty boy cost Perez a possible fourth place, which goes to Pons, and Perez comes in fifth, just ahead of Al-Sharshani. What a race that was, the action never letting up until the very end.
Sì, non è andata male, dai, non possiamo lamentarci.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. I had the lead, and it was a shame I couldn't carry that through to the end. Then my ignition key came out, stalling the engine, causing me to fall back to third. But it's not a bad start, all in all. I didn't expect it, nobody expected it. But my bike is good, and I hope to do well and ride strong tomorrow.
Comunque è andata molto bene, speriamo che vada bene anche domani. Grazie, ciao.
Lemoine had pole position for Heat 2, with Al-Haidous in second and Fracasso third. Al-Abdul-Razak starts way at the back.
I'm gonna start from the back of the line. I'm gonna, focus on keeping my ski stable, being calm, riding smart, and try to get top 3. That's my target, to get some points for the next round.
Race is on. Teddy Pons in fourth, right up there with the top 3 riders. Nothing separating those top 3 as they move into the all-shot. Al-Haidous puts his hand up, and Lemoine narrowly avoids slamming into the Qatari. That was close. Jeremy Perez also stops in the middle of the course. Starting from the back, Al-Abdul-Razak on a mission to catch up with the front runners. There we see a helpless Jeremy Perez. A big move out front as Teddy Pons slots into second position behind Mattia Fracasso, who once again leads early in the race. Fracasso enters the alternate course, taking the green track. Pons taking the blue. The Italian comes out in the lead, but Pons is right behind Fracasso, breathing down his neck. Behind Pons, Lemoine races past in third, lucky after that close call with Al-Haidous at the start. In sixth now, Yusuf Al-Abdul-Razak, who has already left more than a dozen riders in his wake as he sets his sights on Walid Al-Sharshani in fifth. As Fracasso leads, Al-Abdul-Razak, who's racing under a UAE license, finds his chance exiting the alternate course, passing Al-Sharshani. Fracasso doesn't want to blow another lead, and he's riding like a man with a mission out there. Behind him, Cyril Lemoine keeping up the chase with Teddy Pons in second position as the 2 Frenchmen set their sights on Fracasso. In fourth position, Yusuf Al-Abdul-Razak, who started at the back, now threatens the top 3. Behind the Kuwaiti, Mohamed Al-Haidous wards off Spaniard Jordi Tomas Jimenez. What a battle behind Fracasso as Lemoine pushes on Pons, and just behind Lemoine is Al-Abdul-Razak, challenging Lemoine for third, but Lemoine barely holds on. Al-Abdul-Razak and Lemoine duel it out with almost nothing separating these 2 champions. Fracasso, Pons, and Al-Abdul-Razak opt for the outside green track on the alternate course, while Lemoine goes for the blue. Coming out of the alternate course, Al-Abdul-Razak moves ahead of Lemoine, the Kuwaiti now third. Oh no! Fracasso's engine lets go in lap 3, costing him the lead. Another terrible blow to the hard-racing Italian, and he's out. Kuwaiti Al-Dawas, who drives under a Qatari license, moves into fourth, with Al-Sharshani in fifth as the 2 talented riders do battle. Meanwhile, poor Fracasso gets towed off the course, ending yet another race in heartbreak. At the top of the course, Al-Sharshani sees his chance as he outraces Al-Dawas to move into fourth spot. In the alternate course, Al-Abdul-Razak tries to take on Teddy Pons to nab the lead. The Kuwaiti is right beside Pons, Oh, he hits a boy and goes flying off his bike. The Kuwaiti in deep trouble as Cyril Lemoine races by him to move back into second position. And Al Abdulrazak's incredible run falters as he scrambles back onto his bike. Here it is again on the replay. And just look at how aggressively this guy likes to drive. It's risky and gutsy, no holds barred riding. Al Abdulrazak eventually back on his bike, but he drops 2 spots as Al Sharshani moves into third, and Al Abdulrazak has some catching up to do. Further back, veteran Italian Lorenzo Benaglia is in 6th position, but he's under pressure from the Heat 1 runner-up Mohamed Al Haidous, who's trying to make his way up the field after that hiccup at the start. In the lead, Teddy Pons. Can he get back to his winning ways? First, he has to fend off Cyril Lemoine, who looks nice and comfortable in second position following Al Abdulrazak's fall. Further back, Sweden's Åkerblom gives chase to number 23, Jean-Marc Duchy of France, as the two push into the top 5. Lemoine is right on Teddy Pons' tail. With just a few meters separating the two, Pons must be feeling the pressure. Entering the alternate course, Pons takes the outside green, and Lemoine decides to follow him in. As Lemoine stays on Pons, Al Abdulrazak has moved once again close behind Al Sharshani, threatening third position. The two come out head-to-head, but Al Sharshani manages to keep a slender lead over Al Abdulrazak, holding off the newly crowned world champ with some tight turning and good top speed. Just when things appear to be back on track for the Kuwaiti, he has a problem with his bike, losing power, and once again jeopardizing his shot at points in Doha. He checks inside to see what the problem is. He tries to keep running to at least finish the race. But another race ends in heartbreak for him, this time on lap 11. Another 0 points finish, his 4th in a row in Doha. Back in the alternate course, Teddy Pons holds on to his lead in the face of Lemoine's unrelenting pursuit. Coming out of the alternate course, Lemoine neck and neck with Pons. Can Lemoine do it? Pons just fends him off. Behind the two Frenchmen, Walid Al Sharshani on course for a 3rd place finish. Behind them, Ahmed Al Dawas locking horns with Lars Sebastian Åkerblom. The Swede passes him to move up into 4th spot. Great racing from Åkerblom. The final lap, Cyril Lemoine continues his pursuit of Teddy Pons, but he's unable to push for that top spot. Pons keeping Lemoine off his tail. Into the alternate course again, Lemoine in the blue track in a last gasp effort to unseat Teddy Pons, who's in the green track. The two riders keeping it tight in this final stretch, trying to overcome their fatigue. The two are neck and neck, approaching the end of the course. Lemoine is right beside Pons as they go into the final turn. Lemoine on the inside. Can Pons power it home? It's down to the wire, and Pons just does it. Pons is the winner. What a race, one of the best ever. The two rivals and friends congratulate each other. Let's watch that incredible finish once again. The two come out neck and neck, and the race is decided literally in the final few meters. Good result also for Al Sharshani, finishing 3rd.
Ok, je suis vraiment très content de ma 2e manche. On avait fait une première manche.
I'm very happy with Heat 2, even though my aim was the top spot for the
Mon
weekend.
objectif c'était d'être dans le top 3 du week-end.
I'm very happy for me, all my friends, and my family. I'm really looking forward to the next Grand Prix.
Voilà, on verra à la prochaine manche à Milan que tout se passe pour le mieux. Merci.
Really amazing race. At the start, I don't know if you see, but number 3, the guy in front of me, have a problem with his engine. He stopped in the middle of the straight line. I go on him during 3-4 seconds, impossible to go down. After I go out and I start, I don't remember, 3 I think. And after my friend Mattia from the same team, Marina Quattro, break the engine. Youssef come back, he make a fight with me, fight with Teddy, and he fall down. I see he jump. And after I'm just on, behind Teddy Pons, and my booster stay really down. I don't have power, and I want absolutely to finish for win this race. And I try to be safe with my engine. I do like this every time during the half race. And I see Teddy who is very tired, and I try to pass him on the last lap, but I arrived inside, but I don't have the power in the straight line. He passed me just before the finish line. But for me, it was a good race, and now my jet ski don't start. I was very, very lucky.
Cyril Lemoine takes the Grand Prix title, Teddy Pons runner-up, and Walid Al-Sharshani third on the podium for Qatar. That concludes what has been an unforgettable Grand Prix of Qatar. Next stop on the tour is beautiful Milan as the riders make their way back to Europe.
See you in Milan.
See you in Milan.
See you in Milan.
See you in Milano.
See you in Milan.
See you in Milan.
See you in Milan.
See you in Milan, guys.
See you in Milan. Ci vediamo in Milano.